Possibility of legalisation is clearly some way off. So whilst the law remains unchanged, how is cannabis being policed? Up until now, I've put off meeting the coppers. I've got an uneasy relationship with them. But I've been invited to spend the day with Durham Police to see how they tackled the illegal trade.
We are here today to follow the Durham Police on a police raid, which, if I had a choice, isn't really something I would be a part of. It's the fact that I've been on the other side of a police raid twice. I was arrested for something that I was never charged with, but the documentary that we are filming is about weed, and we have to show every aspect of it, and this is something that is a part of it as much as everything else.
The police have had a tip-off about a suspected cannabis grow.
We've gone to the magistrates with that information. The magistrates have to be happy with the information that we give to them for them to give us a warrant. Because if we knocked on the door and somebody had a cannabis grow in there, the chances of them letting us in are very slim. There's a strong smell of cannabis coming from the address. Members of the public believe that there's cannabis being grown at the address and that drugs are almost ready to be cropped. Ken and John, if you guys want to go to the back, you're going to force entry to the door.
This is quite an interesting angle.
You've been on them before?
Have I?
You've been on 20 before?
No, I've been raided twice before.
You've been raided twice?
Yeah. So you walk into a locals pub and the music stops.
Right. We leading the way?
If you're caught possessing cannabis, you could face up to 5 years in prison. If it's with intent to supply, 14 years. I've no idea what we're going to find, but I feel uneasy about being here.
The size? Said we'd have a round.
What round?
Once we arrive, 10 coppers and the firearms officer make their way into the building in search of the cannabis grow.
Can't smell any weed. What's the situation so far?
Well, the house itself is in a poor condition inside. It's obviously, there's a few dogs in there. It's like the dogs have taken hold of the property, really. There is people living in there, albeit there's not people in at the minute.
Sorry, I'll do.
I can't work out if they've found what they're looking for, but after a 40-minute search, we return to the station, and I get to see what they picked up.
So there's the results of your raid.
That's the result of it. There's not an awful lot in there. People may look at it and sort of think, well, it's an absolute waste of time. But it's the information that comes to it's the information that's come to us, and we've acted on it.
Because if someone just smoked someone smoking a spliff, that wouldn't be reason enough for you to obtain a warrant to raid an address,
No.
would it?
I mean, if we knew what was in there, we don't know until we go and do it. It's obviously a lot better for us.
What I'm trying to distinguish is if I'm smoking a spliff in my back garden and someone smells it and goes to a police station, am I then likely to be raided on the chance that there might be a grow in my house?
It depends what they're saying. Are they smelling it intermittently? Is the smell there all the time? Somebody may be under the impression there's a lot more in there than what there actually is. That's what's turned out on this occasion. Until we go into an address, we don't know.
The person in question could be brought in and charged, but in this instance, they receive a warning for possession. Quite a lot of effort for a small amount of weed. The police thought they were going to bust a massive grow. I almost felt a bit sorry for them. Though in their defence, a real change is underway here, and the police are being encouraged to change the way they police cannabis.